I was being played tug of war with by two giant fucking crocodiles.
You didn't have 30 mosquitoes on you.
You didn't have
This-
two giant crocodiles in your freaking.
I just like to
I
imagine
was getting
Esmore
hit
has
by
no clue what
crocodiles all
happened.
the time. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Yeah, Varys is just like looking between the three of you. Just mildly
I'm not a
entertained.
cheat boy.
Just
seems
for
like not
Noah's
much has
sake,
changed.
is there... Oh, sorry. For Noah's sake, is there like a title difference from if I were to meet him outside of his citywide endeavors versus
I
Alright.
don't think he necessarily
Yeah,
has a
there.
title anymore. Alice is the chieftain.
chieftain?
Jesus.
Is there a female version of chieftain?
I don't know actually.
I don't
No,
think
it's
there
just it's literally just chieftain.
But
There's
Alice is
chieftain.
like the quote unquote ruler, even though that's not necessarily how the Tano works. But she's the
a
head.
leader.
Yeah. I guess Varys would be more of an advisory role at this point. Before he got really, really ill, he was the chieftain, but he has since passed on the title.
So Varys would be a elder per
Yeah,
se.
I think that's fair.
He is the elder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
pretty
think
much.
elder status is like a good way to just, without skipping things, without adding things, give it to him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. What did he say? I forgot.
He just said, "I see not much has changed," because you all were bickering, and as we were saying, he's being played around like a chew toy by crocodiles. He's being mildly entertained by you three.
Yeah.
I'll just stick my tongue out at Zane and let them continue.
Am I good on just calling them elder? Is that like okay?
Or you can
at this
say
point?
Varys, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
Just call him Varys. It'll make it
you
easier
don't
for me
call.
anyway.
You don't call Alice.
Okay.
chieftain.
No, I don't. But there's a difference between a commoner talking to Alice and there is Zine talking to Alice. Okay, I'll speak up. In character. Varys, we've eradicated the forces in Neverwinter and reclaimed it. We've only seen, to our knowledge, lizard men trying to take claims on the forest which used to be held by the Tahano.
Yes, the Yuan Ti have been a thorn in our sides for a long time. It seems they've taken the opportunity. All the more reason for us to get back.
We have allies. We have friends. We have not many, but while it's not many, we have strong people.
Very
and
good.
we can reclaim the forest while we search for a way back. And
I
an
think
advisory
we should.
from a friend.
I think we
Continue.
should show you something. and he he starts to lead you down into the tree. It seems like you're going down for a while.
And as you're heading down, he says,
We have had this ability for millennia, long before my time, to come to this plane to be safe and to get back. But it seems like this time it was a one-way journey. And he pushes open a door, and it opens up into this large subterranean room. It's like maybe 1,000 feet across. And Esmore, you had no idea this was even here. You've never seen this place. Zine, you've never heard Alice talk about it.
Yeah.
You like look over at her, but she doesn't seem to be surprised by seeing it. Varys continues and says, very few know about this place. Now
Can I
you three
insight check
are among the
Alice?
trusted. Yeah, go for it. What are you trying to intuit?
I'm trying to read her emotions on whether it be dangerous or not, like how severe the situation is. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
go and roll. Yeah, she has had an air of concern since you all have arrived at Tahano. And like last night you attribute it to like what you said about like Neverwinter and
In the Feywild and stuff that
And-
are happening in the
everything
main
else.
plane.
But being in this environment, you can tell that she's concerned about not just like she is concerned about your well-being, but it's different than how you thought. Varys continues and says, this room contained a crystal that allowed us to move the city. And the three of you give me a perception check.
Just in time.
Nice.
25.
yeah, you three, like up at the ceiling, there's jagged spikes of semi-translucent, a little bit bluish crystal that is jutting out of the roof, but it looks like it was like glass that's been shattered. And based on the size of these shards, it looked to be a sizable crystal. Upon arriving this time in the Feywild, seems it was too much for it, and it shattered, leaving us stranded here. The only way for us to get the city back, as far as I know, is to get a new one. That's where we need your help.
That has nothing to do with that giant crystal outside, is it?
Unfortunately, I wish it was that easy. That crystal is a reflection of White Plume Mountain and its volcanic activity, and that happens to be reflected here as a shimmering crystal, similar to the plume that you see when you're in Neverwinter or in the main tree.
I don't suppose you would know where we can get a new crystal, do you?
There are stories
Without-
that... Yes. Before he continues.
Without leaving the plane, is there a way?
We're fortunate that... Maybe unfortunate, that the only place you can get these crystals is here. Dahano was actually originally founded here, in the Feywild.
But there's nothing to say that you were there in the planar world. I forgot what it's called.
This was far beyond my time, my father's time, even my grandfather's time. Many millennia ago, Dahano was original to the Feywild. And he motions to himself and Alice, and you can see that we have drawn closer to our roots. There are a few places that we might be able to recover one of these crystals. There is well, the first crystal came from deep underground. There's a vast network that connects all of the Feywild, much as Faerun is connected. Some call it the Underdark, at least on that side. There's something very similar here in the Feywild. That is where the first one was retrieved. There are also many powerful beings here in the Feywild. It is ruled by two courts, the Summer and Winter Court. The Seelie and Unseelie Fey. If you curry the favor of an Archfey, we may be able to get our hands on one of these crystals. And, well, the last way is to steal it.
Which seems more likely? Like, how easily befriended are these Archfey?
Well, it would be a deal. These crystals are incredibly valuable. So, we would need to give up something incredibly valuable.
Anyone up for a heist?
It's
Would
possible, but
a favor of the gods suffice? To your understanding.
His brow kind of froze. Like,
What do you mean?
It's something inexplainable. It's a favor. And that's all it is. But it's seemingly so much more.
And you have one of these favors.
I do not. And I cannot say either of these two with me do,
Nope.
because I'm unsure. But we have received them before.
Unless you have one now, it seems like trying to get another maybe may be too difficult. If you are planning on stealing one, going after one of the courts is folly. However, I believe the orchestra might be in possession of one.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
He said, I believe the orchestra might be in possession of one, and to go after one of the courts would be folly.
You know how I am when it comes to anything that's law related.
What? And this is Zine speaking to the elder Varys. What would be deemed worthy of being an orchestra?
The orchestra is more of a phenomenon than a collection of entities or people playing instruments. I have not seen them myself, but I have it on good authority that they exist. And believe me when I say it is not the safe option. I believe that your magics come from much the same place that theirs does.
Varys, I am one of Fae ancestry. I believe I have a piece, at least a single piece, of the orchestra. There was just one piece. It's at least more than others. But the orchestra is something that, while that is my profession, is very unknown. And while you may only have myths and legends and soothsaying speaks, the least we know is worse off than the more we know.
It is true. But that is the only ways I can see of getting a crystal. Is either currying a favor, finding one ourselves, or stealing one from this orchestra.
Like something we probably need to think about and discuss our options a little more thoroughly before we kind of come to a conclusion on what our action should be.
Of course. And we as the Tahano will support you as much as we are able, but
And like we're new to this environment. We don't really know the capabilities of the orchestra or anything about the courts and how far their powers exceed. We don't want to jump into something that we don't really know much about.
we have a couple of grove tenders on scouting missions, and when they return, we will have more information.
Guess we can try and be a little patient and wait for them to return.
Give us some time.
I don't.
Of course.
I don't think our version of patience holds the bill.
Well, sometimes practicing a little patience may be the best option.
We don't have any other options regardless.
Yeah.
Zine will reluctantly stay quiet.
The Tahano will be forever in your debt, and you are more than welcome to stay as long as you're here. It may not be Faerun, but it is beautiful and it is safe.
If we're in your debt, then mind if I talk to you about something at some point?
The Tahano's in your debt, but
It's more of a personal
course.
favor. But in private, just you and me.
of course. And he leads you out of this subterranean chamber. I think that we're gonna have to get to all of this much more emotional stuff on Sunday.
Yeah.
If we
Um,
play.
I mean, God, I hope.
If
play.
we play, the only reason we didn't was because of me.
God no.
God damn it, Noah.
Jeez.
Yeah, sorry for being busy as shit for like unbelievably time stupidity.
God no.
Are you going to be free on Sunday?
But I hope you all have enjoyed watching D&D. We are in the Feywild. We will be playing on Sunday at 12 Mountain Time. So, if you don't want to miss it, make sure you drop a follow and turn on notifications. You'll be reminded. But